I came here though with like no money at the time, like just 200 euros in my bank account, like that's all I had. And then I just tried to make it from fighting. I started fighting every month. I was like just trying to live off, because I lived in the gym and then I was eating in the gym. So you start making some money from fights, you could just live off that money. My first fight at Lumpini Stadium, I made like 5,000 baht, and I was like, I gotta be careful with this money. So I was spending like 1,000 baht a week. And I just slowly got the ball running. And then I stayed in Thailand for like, I think a year straight. I'd done a few fights. And then I started losing my mind because the training was rough. The training, like we wake up every morning, 12 kilometers run. You gotta wake up 6 a.m. no matter what you feel. My dad's part of my family, like they had money, but when they found that I was moving to Thailand, they were like, what the are you gonna go do in Thailand? Like,
welcome to Fruiting Body Podcast with your host, Brendan. We are here in Phuket, Thailand, and we have an absolute legend of a guest coming on. It is Savvas Michael. Now, he's asked me to change his name up. We got a whole new image coming out. I mean, he's going to be taking over the Muay Thai world of Thailand. This is the top-level X-Pac Farang Muay Thai fighter in the world. And we're building him up. I'm going to let him do the speaking because this is going to be an absolute killer podcast. We're going to be learning so much about the Muay Thai point system. What's going on in Thailand? What is an A-class fighter? The difference between fighting at top-level stadiums versus your Patong stadiums. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but we're going to go deep into the differences, which a lot of people are not aware of. So, without further ado, Savvas Michael. Did I pronounce it the way you wanted it?
yes, exactly. My first name's Savvas.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately in Thailand, I had to like put my first name as Michael because the Thais can't say V. So I just wanted to make it easier on the Thai public so they can remember my name. So Michael, and then they all just started enjoying it. So I just let it flow, to be honest.
Yeah, everyone around here would pronounce you or call you Michael Savvas.
Yeah,
Now,
because
why are you changing it?
I mean, because I'm proud. My name Savvas is I got it from my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I really respect my grandfather's like accomplishments in life. He kind of set out the same goals but just different. After the war in Cyprus, he moved to Canada and like got 3 jobs there, and that's how my dad met my mom in Canada. So like I really respect my grandfather, so I carry his name proud, to be honest.
And your mom is Canadian, as
Yes.
I am Canadian.
Yes.
The better part. So your grandfather, he originally moved to Canada with obviously your father.
Yes.
And so was your father coming over with him, or was he born in Canada?
No, he was born in Cyprus, but then there was a war in Cyprus with the Turks in 1972, I think. And then after the war, my grandfather survived the war, and then he was like, we got to leave Cyprus. And then he moved to Canada with my father and my father's sister.
So you were born in Canada. You have Canadian passport.
I was born in Cyprus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I have a Canadian passport.
So then they went back.
Yeah,
and
they went back to for me to have the passport too.
Oh, okay.
But I still rock the Cyprus flag, to be honest. Cyprus
That's
passport.
better. I mean, the Canadian. To be honest, I don't even know if we can be proud to be Canadian.
I mean, I've never
there?
been to Canada. I mean, I've been when I was young. I've always
Okay.
avoided going to Canada. I've always loved staying in Thailand. I've always been active in my career. I never took so much time off to go to Canada.
When did you leave Canada?
I was like a baby. No, I've always lived I was raised in Cyprus, and then about 16 I moved to Thailand. So I had my whole life in Cyprus. I've only been to Canada when I was like a baby with my parents.
What actually brought you guys over to Thailand? Now, I'm assuming, was it actually the Muay Thai, or was there a whole different story behind this?
Just myself. My family never came to Thailand. I've moved here by myself. So when I was around 7 years old, my parents got a divorce when I was in Cyprus. I was fighting Muay Thai since I was 6 in Cyprus, like locally amateurs. And then I was representing the Cyprus national team in like the World Games, like there was a World Championships, European Championships, and I was representing Cyprus. And I was coming to Thailand. Usually the World Games were in Thailand, and I would come here like when I was 11, 12, like to compete. And that's when I knew like this is the country I want to live and fight Muay Thai.
How did you actually get into Muay Thai in Cyprus? Was did your family, grandfather, father, do they come from a sports background?
No. So my grandfather never worked out in his life, to be honest. He was just a hard worker, to be honest. He had like 3 jobs in Canada trying to survive for the family and all that. But my father was into karate in Canada, like full contact karate. So he was really into it. So then when I was in Cyprus, my father tried to get me into karate. But I didn't like karate when I went there. And then we were just trying to find like a sport that suits me. And then one day we just found like a little Muay Thai gym in Limassol. And then I walked into this gym, and like from that day, I never left that gym.
What are the main differences? I mean, training as a kid in Cyprus, and then watching young Thai kids coming up training. I mean, are you wearing the headgear and equipment back then?
Yeah,
it's completely different.
Yeah, we were wearing the headgear and like the full equipment, but back then we were allowed to hit in the face. Whereas now they changed the rules. Like I think 3-4 years ago, there's no head contact until you're 15. So when I was 6 years old, I was already punching people in the face and stuff. But then they banned it like only a few years ago. So I kind of feel lucky because I was lucky enough to have that full contact experience as a young boy. But yeah, when I used to watch the Thais fight like pro, I was always like obsessed. I want to do that. I want to do that. And then that's why I turned pro when I was 13.
Do you think that growing up in that area where you could hit each other in the face, like, does that bring more success as you grow into this profession? Or the flip side would be like maybe kids, it could avoid future CTE. I mean, you got two arguments.
Yeah, there's two arguments, but I do feel that it did make the kids more tough back then, and only the real ones actually stood out and stayed in the game because we had like awareness of like what pain feels like, right? A lot of kids become really good until they're 15, and then once a head contact comes in, they want to stop, right? So it's like a shock.
Until they end
so
up in Thailand.
So there's two arguments. It's a hard one always, but I don't think like we can argue with this one because like everybody has a different opinion on this one. So it's like I don't really argue with people no more.
But you were wearing were you wearing the shin pads?
Yeah, I was wearing the shin pads. There was a body protector and a head guard and elbow pads.
Okay, so at that point, I mean, we all know Thai kids training the age of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
When you finally get over to Thailand, you're not having the same shin conditioning, are you?
No. Well, I was quite lucky. So I was a rising talent in Cyprus. So at 13 years old, I started fighting adults. I became really good quite quick. I was competing a lot, and my coach and my mom decided like we should put him like to fight a professional fight. And when I was like 13 years old, I fought like a 19-year-old guy from Lebanon, first professional fights. And I started conditioning my legs because I was fighting with no protection.
How did you learn to do proper shin conditioning? Because we're watching Thais out here. I mean, they're taking bamboo sticks. They're rubbing it on their shins at a young age.
I feel that's old school techniques. I think just a heavy bag. I was just kicking the heavy bag a lot and just fighting, to be honest. It just conditions. I think it's more brain conditioning than body conditioning. You know, when your brain gets conditioned, your body gets conditioned. So I think it kind of balances both out.
Interesting. Now, this argument side, we get into the Muay Thai. Where did Muay Thai originate? Is it from? And I'm sure you hear this in the gyms as well and through your peers. Did it originate in Cambodia? Did it originate in Thailand? Did it originate in Myanmar? What is this whole conversation? Because you're going to have a much more deeper understanding of it.
I feel it's the Thais. I think it's a Thai sport. You know, you can see the Thais, how much they love the sport. You know, I feel like even if you go back, like the Muay Boran, if you look into the Muay Boran, that's like with the swords and the Muay Thai. I mean, I think it started from Thailand, and then I feel like other cultures probably had their own martial arts, and like, you know, we all learn from each other somehow, so we all copy each other. So I don't think we can never know where it started from, to be honest. You know, I always just tell people, like, you know, when we're born, like we all have a fighter instinct in us, and then probably the Thai culture just made it into the sport it is now. You know,
could you feel that coming over here at age, you know, at a young age, this energy, this feeling of Muay Thai in Thailand, every time you came to compete? What was that at such a young age? Like, can you describe that feeling?
It was surreal, to be honest. Like when I was young, like I would come here and I would see like just how the Thais were. I would be like, whoa, this is like dangerous, you know, it's scary. But then there was this addiction inside of me that I wanted it, you know. But such a young age, I think you keep doubting yourself. Like, you're like, can I do this? I think these guys are really built different than we are, the white guys, you know, like you kind of doubt yourself. But that fear builds you up as a young boy. When I was coming here looking at them, like, you know, beat the shit out of each other, and then I'm like, oh shit, one day I gotta do this. When I go back, I've always trained harder because like it always gives you like a wake-up call on like how tough these guys are over here, you know.
When you came over, were you competing and winning at that age in Thailand?
Yeah, so I came over when I was 11. At the first trip I came was just like a gym. We came here with my team for like 2 weeks. It was just like a Thailand experience. My coach brought like us over. My mom saved up money and sent me over here, and we just came here for a 2-week experience in Bangkok. I was lucky enough to experience the culture. My coach back then brought me into like the Chao Phraya River. I saw how the poor Thais lived, and that kind of humbled me over because like I was with a single mom, so I thought my life was hard. So then I came to Thailand, like it taught me gratitude even like quite quick at such a young age. So when I came back to Cyprus, it kind of like made me a better person, to be honest. And just the culture over here, just everything. The first time I came here 11, I didn't compete, but I did experience like looking at Muay Thai fights and all that. I went to like the old Lumpini Stadium. I had the first glimpse of an experience, and that's when like the dream kind of planted in my brain. Up till I was like 11, I wasn't sure if this was going to be something I wanted to do. I wanted to be a jet pilot, funny enough. And then at 11 years old, like when I saw Lumpini Stadium, I was like, this is what I want to do, because if I felt the atmosphere, the energy, I don't know, I just felt like an instant connection straight away. And then from 11 years old onwards, I'd never stopped training hard every single day.
Did you grow up in Cyprus like middle class or was it lower class?
Lower class, yeah.
But then when you're coming over here, you see there's another level to that.
Yeah, so I thought we were lower class, you know, but I still had like a plate of food on my, like I had a roof, a better roof than these guys had. Like they were living in container houses. At least I had a hard roof on top, you know. So it was, I think Thailand did teach me a lot how to be just grateful as like, you know, coming from Europe, sometimes, you know, you go to school, you compare yourself to like the other kids, you know, and then come to Thailand, you see like the lower of the lower. So like Thailand did help me a lot as a human, to be honest.
How important is that, not just in let's say Muay Thai, but it can be in anything, MMA, any type of martial arts, people that are coming from more humbling backgrounds compared to, let's say, your Chael Sonnens or your Colby Covingtons that are raised in Oregon and getting into fighting. Do you think you have that competitive edge, that fire in you because you're coming from like a lower income family at the time? I
think so, yeah. I always tell this, like, if you look at fighters, always the fighters who are fighting for something always have that dog inside them, as you say, you know, and then you see other fighters when they're in like a dog fight, you can see like when it's about heart, you see them kind of crumble. So I always feel like, I feel like a fighter has to have something to fight for. Could be anything, but if you're fighting for something, there's always like a drive, right?
What was your hunger?
Just to like leave that lifestyle in Cyprus. I started to hate the lifestyle in Cyprus. I was growing up, like my friends started like smoking weed at a young age, selling weed, and just that lifestyle. Like I didn't like that lifestyle. I just wanted to be someone different. I wanted to like stand out, and that standout like kept me going, you know. And every time I fought, and the whole crowd would be impressed about my technique because I was always had like that Thai style technique from such a young age. So I just standing out. I just really wanted to stand out, and I feel that was my hunger, and like just changed my life. And I feel like slowly I work towards that.
At that young age, 11, you come to Thailand. It must be inside you. You want to move there one day. Finally, you make it here at 16.
So funny enough, after that flight, I fly back to Cyprus. I was like 11 years old. I sat in the car when my mom picked me up from the airport. I was like, Mom, when I'm 18, I want to move to Thailand. And she was like, she didn't say anything. She went quiet because she was a bit like shocked. And then when we went home, she was like, all right, if you want to do this, then you got to make a promise. You got to train. Like if you're going to do this, train your heart out. And then since then, I just made a deal with my mom, like school's not going to go so well no more. I'm going to train harder. I'm going to wake up before school. I'm going to train. We had a good deal. My mom was like a best friend to me, so she was really helpful like back then.
She was able to give you that space so school wasn't priority and you're able to prioritize your training.
With my mom, we had a good communication. So she understood that school was not giving me what I wanted, you know, like especially Cyprus where I come from, like it's like a small island too. People are very negative back home. Like nobody leaves the island and like does something big. So my mom was Canadian and was blessed for that. And she was open-minded and she would prefer like me, because I lived in a rough part in Cyprus. It was like called St. Nicholas. Like in my town is like one of the shittest places to live, right? And then, but it was also like where the coolest guys were. So she kind of knew that I need to let my son like chase something, right? So she let me, give me space to chase it. But whenever I was like doing something wrong, she would like slap me in the head and like she would take Muay Thai from me. So then I would go crazy. So like let's say grounded was being not going to be able to go to the gym, and then I would get like haunts in my head that people are getting better than me. So she would let me suffer. She knew I had it in me, so she would ground me on Muay Thai. So the fire would be more and more and more.
When you finally made that move, I'm assuming she's staying back in Cyprus. She must be getting a lot of opinions from the neighbors, the family.
Yeah.
Oh, what's he doing there? How did she handle that? Has she shared those stories with you?
Yeah, I mean, back then, so I failed school, unfortunately. Like when I was 15 or 16, I don't really remember, but like I failed school because of a lot of absences. So back then, Cyprus wasn't recognized in the government. The Muay Thai wasn't recognized in the government. So one day I went to school and I failed because of like too many absences. So they failed me. And then I already had I was going to Thailand every year to fight, but I already had one gym that was interested in like keeping me in Thailand. So when I failed this school year and I came home, I was like, Mom, this means I'm going to move to Thailand when I'm 19. That can't happen, right? Like I was already like I've beaten everyone in Greece and Cyprus. Like I fought big names from the UK. I was like beating everyone in Europe, and I was already like under 18 and I was fighting adults. Like when I was 14, I was fighting someone who was 27 years old from Greece, beating him. So my career was kind of going ahead, but then school was kind of keeping me under, because the teachers in school weren't understanding. They saw me as like a hooligan. They didn't push me to become a fighter. I was actually very good in school, I never done no harm to anyone, never fought in school. I just wasn't interested in, like, when it was music, I just didn't want to attend class because I would rather go train, stuff like that. Or like in the morning, I'd miss the first period of school because I was running or something, but school didn't understand. But now the funny thing, the government in Cyprus now recognizes Muay Thai. So the kids who are doing Muay Thai are able to finish school because like their absences are getting erased because of the competing, right? So it was like a 50-50. It was a debate, and me and my mom, we just sat down. I was like, Mom, listen, if I stay in school, I told her straight, I'm not gonna go to school. So
Do you think if you stayed in school and didn't come to Thailand at 16, would you be at the level you're at today?
nah, no way. I would also go down a different path, like, because money was starting to become a problem. We needed money to go compete in another country. I needed money. My friends were doing wrong stuff for money. So I feel like God gave me an opportunity to let my mom just allow me to come here, because she knew that I was like a crazy kid. Like maybe I would have went down another wrong path, but if I came to Thailand, I promised her I would stay on the good path. So I said, just let me go to Thailand. And then my mom just gave me her last little bit of money and let me move to Thailand. And then when I came to Thailand, like I moved here, and then I was like, oh shit, I actually don't want to live here. Because I arrived in Bangkok, I arrived in this Thai gym, and I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Like, first Thai meal was spicy. I couldn't eat food. I was with the Thais, and then it was just a whole different ball game when I moved here.
What was the plan? The gym was going to take care of you. You were sponsored. I mean, you still need spending money.
Yeah. So the first thing we done with my mom, there was this gym. There was I was watching them on YouTube, to be honest. They're called Pet Yin Di Gym. They're like probably the best gym in Thailand at the moment for Muay Thai in Bangkok. Like they're like basically a Muay Thai factory. If you look into Muay Thai, they're the biggest Muay Thai gym in Thailand. They were promoting the old Lumpini Stadium, the biggest promoters there and everything. So I used to watch them on YouTube and study their fighters. And I was like, Mom, I want to go to this gym, but we didn't know how to do all this. Like there was no guideline like back then, you know, it was just YouTube. And I was like, this gym. And I was like, Mom, maybe if I just show up there, I'll like ask them if we can pay for 2-3 months. I'll stay in the gym for 4 months or whatever, as much as the money can hold us. And let's see if they'll maybe sponsor me. I said to her, I was kind of manifesting it, to be honest. So I moved to Thailand. We saved up as much money as we could. It was a little amount of money. We moved to Thailand, and then lucky enough, they allowed me to sleep with the Thais. So I was like paying a very small amount of money. And then I was just trying to live like a Thai. I wanted to see how the Thais get along here. I kind of came to test it out. When I came, I was like, it was like a culture shock to me. I was like, the food was so different. The training regime, like I was training hard in Cyprus, but then I came to Thailand, training came times 4 more. So I came to Thailand for like 4 or 5 months, and then my money was running out. I done a trial fight, and then the gym was like, you know what? When you go back to Cyprus, we want to sponsor you when you're back. So you just have to come back. You'll train here for free, fight every month, and we'll take care of you. We'll pay for your accommodation here. So basically, live with the Thais. The food is free. So I just didn't need much. I just needed a flight to come back. Mm-hmm. So when I came back to Cyprus, then we didn't have money for me to come back. So that's when I started like watching a lot of YouTube. I was like trying to figure out like, how am I gonna move to Thailand? And then I fought a few professional fights in Cyprus. I was getting paid at the time. It was like, back then I was probably making like 300, 500 euros a fight. It was like from ticket sales too, so I was saving that money too. And then lucky enough, I was fighting in this big fight league one day, and like there was a guy from my gym he was a fighter at my gym, but he was an adult, but I could, like when we would spar, and I'd beat him up. But he was a very humble guy, and he was like, bro, we need to get you out of here. And he knew about this one company who would eventually try sponsor me. So I just showed up one day to this like company in Cyprus, and I put my good clothes on. I showed up at like 16 years old, and I went in there. I was like, this is my dream. Like, I really want to move to Thailand. Could you guys just pay for my flight, and I'll represent you guys and all that. It took a lot of grit. I mean, I went around to find a lot of sponsors, but I knocked on many doors. Nobody would sponsor me. But then I met this one guy, and lucky enough, he was like, you know what, go home, pack your bags. You're going to Thailand. And then same day, I packed my bags. 2 days later, I was on a plane to Thailand.
What was the company?
It's a trading company. They're called XM Global. Mm-hmm. They still sponsor me to this day.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen you pushing them as well.
Yeah, so
it's like a trading platform.
Yeah, so back then they just sponsored a flight for me to come to Thailand. They believed in me. They're like a Cypriot company. Cypriot CEO owners. They started from Cyprus and they became global too. So the story kind of fit in, and the guy he was kind of like, what the fuck's going on? This little 16-year-old, everybody's talking about him. And he just pushed me to come, and he booked my flight. I came here though with like no money at the time, like just 200 euros in my bank account. Like that's all I had. And then I just tried to make it from fighting. I started fighting every month. And then I was like just trying to live off, because I lived in the gym and then I was eating in the gym. So you start making some money from fights, you could just live off that money.
And some goes back to the gym as well.
Yeah, but back then when I was like so young, I just wanted like 1,000 baht a week. I was like trying to spend it because I was making like my first fight at Lumpini Stadium. I made like 5,000 baht, and I was like, fuck, I got to be careful with this money. So I was spending like 1,000 baht a week. So my budget was 100 baht a day at like 7-Eleven, and I just slowly got the ball running. And then I stayed in Thailand for like I think a year straight. I'd done a few fights, and then I started losing my mind because I was living with the Thais, I was sleeping with the Thais, I was going a bit crazy. And then I flew back to Cyprus to see my family, and then I went to the sponsor, and I was like, yo, I'm going a bit crazy, I'm losing my mind. And like I started telling him I was thinking about quitting Muay Thai. I think this is not for me no more, because the training was rough. The training, like we wake up every morning, 12 kilometers run. You got to wake up 6 a.m. no matter what you feel. There's no urgency of like if you're tired or what. I had to run 6 a.m. You follow this Thai regime, which is really strict, and then you got to eat Thai food and sleep with the Thais, and you know, miscommunication with the Thais. Like maybe they take a t-shirt. I don't know. It's just a hard 1-2 years that I was sleeping with the Thais. And then I was like, I was like, I'm going to try, I need to find like a better sponsor. And then he started sponsoring me like a little bit more money every month. He was helping me out just a little bit, but he always kept me hungry. Like he gave me a little bit and he was like, just go out there and just continue building your name, continue building your name. And I just kept at it. It was hard, but I found my way to like make it up. So I'm like very grateful for this company, because I had nothing. Like without them, I would not have done anything in this sport. Like my family, my dad's part of my family, like they had money, but when they found that I was moving to Thailand, they were like, what the fuck are you going to go do in Thailand? Like, you're going to go eat rats and like fight Muay Thai. Like, but my mom was only open-minded. She would send me like a 50 euro here and there whenever she had some extra money. So I just kind of found my way around just hustling a little bit, you know, like fighting and just finding my way how to survive in Thailand. And just one day just made it.
Yeah, most foreigners coming over here, even the Thais over here, you're taking a fight to win 5,000 baht to basically survive off of.
Yeah.
So when you go and read the stats or how many fights a Thai person has and it says 200, well, that's because they have to eat.
Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about, like, you know, Thai people, yeah, they might have 200 fights, but it's very different. This isn't 200 MMA fights. Yeah. Meaning, like, at these places like a Patong Stadium, two Thai guys, they probably fight each other every other week. Are they actually fighting, or is there like is it 50% sparring as well?
Well, I would say like Patong Stadium and Phuket and like on the islands, the Muay Thai is not really Muay Thai. It's just a stadium that they kind of, it's like a tourist attraction thing. But then there are Thais who start fighting from a very young age in their hometowns in like Isan or the north and stuff. They kind of fight real fights because they need to eat, right? Like I know guys who are fighting for like 100 baht, you know, and they were doing like 2 fights a week, 3 fights a week. So it depends where the Thais come from, right? Like
Loma when she was...
Yeah, but Loma comes from a rough background. She was in Isan, like she fought her way. So her fights are probably all real, you know. She never fought in like a tourist stadium probably, you know. So it depends on where they're fighting. I would say like the Patong Stadium is a tourist attraction. So sometimes you get Thais who need to eat, right? They're going to fight every week for 5,000 baht. And if they're having a hungry foreigner who's trying to take their head off, they need to fight next week too. So they'll take a dive for that 5,000 baht.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, they don't want to take a head kick, and next thing you know, they got, you know...
They can't fight for 3 months.
They can't fight for 3 months, or they need dental work. I've always wondered that, like, with health insurance in Thailand, like, someone like yourself, like, what happens if you get all your front teeth kicked in? Because even as me, living here with... I don't even have health insurance. Yeah. Because Thailand medical care is so expensive. Like, and dental care, insane. So there's... Always, that's why I wasn't a Muay Thai fighter. No, but it's true. It's if you get injured where maybe you need dental work or you don't have proper health insurance.
For dental work, you don't get no help. Like
it could cost you 300,000 baht.
Nah, it's insane. No money.
So how is this stuff always in the back of your mind and other fighters' mind? Is like what's going on?
Me personally, sometimes it does creep in. It usually creeps in when like an older person asks me and tries to like scare me a little bit and like question me. But I always try to like not think about it and stay as positive as it can, as in not to happen. But as you kind of climb the ranks and like, you know, I made it to one championship and I broke my hand, and like your gym kind of helps you out. They kind of help you out because they see the longevity and like they're making money off you, obviously. So I was lucky enough, and like my old gym, like Pet D, like they were a big, strong gym. So like they kind of paid for injuries.
Did you have health insurance? No.
It's no health insurance, but they would pay for the injuries. But it wasn't specifically, they would just had like doctors they knew, and they would just send you to those doctors. We don't know if those doctors were good or not, but they would kind of cover it for you sometimes.
Well, a lot of injuries, like a broken toe, a broken finger.
Yeah,
There's not a lot you can.
You don't heal those.
Do anything.
Yeah, you just are like broken ribs. Nothing you can do. They just heal on its own. So they kind of just take care of you in a way, because they cut 50% of your money in the big gym. So that's why when I was growing up, I kind of chose to go to a traditional 5-round gym because I had no money, and my only option was to come to a gym like this, because they would take 50% of my money, but I had this other stuff covered. Like I slept there, I ate there, so I had some stuff covered. You know, like coming with like a little money was my only option.
There's different styles of Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah.
I've had the Muay Thai technician on before, and
Yeah.
he's explained these different types of fighters. Do some Thai fighters, or even yourself, adapt to a certain style to avoid injury?
Nah.
Or you just adapt your own technique?
I just try to adapt every fight as it goes, and I don't really think like, oh, I don't want to get injured. You can't go in with that mindset. You got to go in with the mindset like it's this or die, you know, or else something might go wrong. You know, that in a fight you might throw a body kick and your toes are broken. If your brain is like not all in, then you're not going to give your best. You're just going to be thinking about that broken toe. But if you're all in, obsessed, you're just going to go for the kill. So I think for me, it's just adapting. I always just adapt to the situation. Depends on the opponent or something.
Yeah, I guess it's like a poker player. Don't go to the table with money
Exactly.
you think you're going to lose, because you'll lose.
Exactly.
So you just go,
It's
I'm all in.
Exactly the same mindset for Muay Thai. So I think the highest level of Muay Thai fighters, they just adapt. They fought so much, you just adapt.
Stepping back a bit, you're living your first time in Thailand. You're talking about living with the Thais.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it around here where you have places like, this is before Bangkok was built.
Okay.
You had Sutai. I think it's still called Sutai. And
Yeah.
you'd have the bamboo huts out back, and they all live together. To give people like a visual of what that is, you have a gym, and in the back you have literally a bamboo hut, almost just enough for a bed, a little bit of space, and maybe a desk.
Yeah.
Was this the lifestyle you're living?
Well, my gym was a bit different. We were in Bangkok, so the Bangkok gyms are always known for harder training, highest level. So for the Thais, the biggest dream is to get accepted by a Bangkok gym. I mean, not now. Now things are changing a lot in Muay Thai, but back then when I was there, it's like if you got sponsored by a Bangkok gym, that means you're going to be on the big fight leagues, like in Rajadamnern and Lumpini Stadium. So whoever was not in a Bangkok gym back then and was in like Phuket or anything, the level, that means you're a B-class fighter. That means you're fighting for less money. You're not active in the biggest stadium. So back then, I think all the Thais wanted to be in a Bangkok gym. And now it depends on the gym you were and the circumstances and how much money the gyms had. Where I was, it was just like a big room, and it was bunk beds, and we were like 30 guys.
Almost like a dormitory.
Yeah, like a dormitory. So I was sleeping we were like 30 guys in one huge room, and it was just bunk beds.
30 guys in one, almost a jail cell.
Yeah, like a jail cell.
Jeez.
Maybe 20. There was 20, and then I was like, it was a big.
The bathrooms and the showers are outside.
You share
but
the
it's
showers.
not in the room,
No,
is it? Yeah,
no.
okay.
Outside, but you share the shower, so you got to wait for your turn. So it goes like the highest level of the fighters shower first, because they're like the Yod Moy. The Yod Moy means like the highest paid fighters. You got to respect them. They shower first, and you shower second. There was no hot water, constant cold water for a shower.
As a Farang, would you be way down the totem pole just
Yeah,
being
I always waited for everyone to shower, and then I'll just go shower, because I just felt awkward always, you know, like they always were a bit weird with me. So at the time, also, like there was only one other foreigner at the time, Daniel McGowan, but he was kind of gone when I was staying there, so I was kind of staying there alone with the Thais, so it was a weird energy sometimes. So I just kind of just respected the culture and just would wait for all of them to shower and then just go shower.
You said you were living like that. Was it 1 year or 2 years?
Like 2 years.
So
2 years.
you must have been were you able to pick up some time and communicate with them?
Yeah, but I also had a problem because I was hanging out like with everyone. But there's also like, if you hang out with the Isan boys don't like the North boys don't like it's like there was also like these gangs.
It's all
in the
different
gym.
languages.
Different languages. So I had a problem learning Thai because like they would, obviously we were young, you know, so they were teasing me, telling me stupid words to learn. So it was all, at some point I just gave up on not wanting to learn Thai because of too much like banter, you know. So I just tried to be friends with everyone, and that kind of costed me from learning Thai because sometimes they wouldn't call me because the Isan boys didn't like that I was hanging out with the North boys, or the North boys didn't like I was hanging out with the Isan guys. So it was just a weird chemistry, to be honest.
If you were to go back and do it again, would you have picked a group?
Nah, because I'm happy I was always open-minded. I wanted to learn about Thailand. I was always wanting to explore, like, what do they eat? Then I started, that's how I love Isan food. Like, Isan food is my favorite food now because I was hanging out with the Isan food boys, you know? So I learned a lot. So I don't regret anything now.
Yeah, and these languages, I've been studying Thai since I've got here, and I speak Chinese, and Thai I'm still struggling.
Yeah,
it's very
it's hard.
challenging.
It's very
hard in Phuket because everyone speaks English.
Exactly.
So I could study all day, and then you go out and you get lazy and you just don't use it.
Exactly.
And then
same with me. Same with me. It's always been like that, to be honest.
It's just, and I think, you know, if whether I'm working or you're exercising, you're doing your Muay Thai. You get tired.
Exactly.
You're like,
yeah, I'm tired.
Okay, I'm just going to use English.
Exactly. And I just wanted this after like training, like back when I was in Bangkok, the training was so much. You train for 6 hours a day. You have no energy to do anything else, you know. So I was just training and trying to like recover my body so I don't get injured, to be fair.
There's a lot of stories going around, and it's pretty clear of these environments of the guys living kind of like summer camp where they're playing pranks on each other, they're whipping each other in the nuts with sticks. Did you experience a lot of that at a young age?
Yeah, but I was always very straight up honest. I did not let that happen to me. I didn't get involved in these weird
rituals.
Yeah, I did not want to be a part of it. Even the boss at my gym, he respected that and never put me in that because, I mean, I'm Greek, you know, so like where I'm come from, if someone sees me getting whipped or like for fun, like it doesn't seem right. So I always set my boundaries, you know. Obviously my trainer sometimes when I was like doing a kick wrong, if he's behind me, he'll just whip me and be like, come on. That I'm okay with that. But like playing and games, I've always stayed out of it, and I've always gave them like a heads up, like I'm not into this shit, you know.
And they respected that boundary as well.
Yeah, of course I did. Because like in training, I'd like, if it was sparring time, I'd fuck them up. I'd go for the kill just so they know that like I have that dog in me, you know. I stood my ground when I needed to.
Talking about the progression of yourself becoming a professional, you're here when you're 16. At which point did you realize, okay, I'm now about to level up? Did this happen at a young age? You're talking within the first 2 years where you're starting to enter these big stadiums?
Funny enough, my first fight was on a big card. I was fought at Lumpini Stadium, like my first fight. That's where I got the sponsorship from the gym. And so ever since they saw me fight there, they loved my technique. And then they just started fine-tuning me. And then I was straight into like B-class fight. So that means if you're in a B-class fighter in the stadium, that means like there's like the main card and you're always in the prelim. That means you're a B-class fighter in Thailand in the stadiums. Traditional 5 rounds. So that means traditional 5 rounds means the gamblers were allowed around. There's a lot of gambling going on. You got to respect the gamblers because, like example, round 1 and 2, they would always tell me start slow. Like maybe sometimes act like it hurts a bit more so the odds change. So because that could earn you some extra cash, right? So if you get a tip from the gambler, fuck, you're happy. So I always wanted to like learn the game, to be honest. So I always respected their like stuff. Like if they told me round 1, you're not fighting, I would listen. So that's how I kind of bonded with the Thais, and we had a good connection, and they helped me. Like only after 2 years, I went to A-class straight away, and I started fighting main fights in the stadiums.
Yeah, they're taking this, very different than MMA in the sense of a 5-round MMA fight it's a full-on war. Yeah. But Muay Thai, there's more of an art to it, and especially because of the gambling involved in it. Those first 2 rounds is let's showcase each other, let everyone understand what they're going to be betting on.
This is what I tell people, like we never, like in Muay Thai, like you get a day, oh, you're fighting on the 27th at Rajadamnern, what weight? Okay, 135, that's 61 kilos, okay. Who am I fighting? Okay, you don't even look, we don't even watch YouTube. Your trainer just comes, you train 2-3 weeks hard, and then you go fight. And when you're doing this consistently, you don't really care. So that first round is really important to see what style this guy has, because you're trying to figure this guy out like round 1. You know what I mean? So I always saw round 1 as a testing round, see what this style has. I had no idea what I'm fighting. Is he a kicker? Is he a clincher? So I kind of put myself in position to test him out. So I know later rounds when he's going to try come win what he's good at. But also when I was growing up at round 2, round 3, I try to get them out because Thais are just naturally conditioned to come out round 4 and just take your neck off. So I've always tried to knock them out, like with body shots and stuff, like stuff that I felt Muay Thai. So as I was growing up, I loved the Muay Thai style, but then I was like, you know what? I'm a fighter. I don't want to just play. Like, I want to fight. I have this inside me. Like, I wanted to have that beautiful Muay Thai style, but I always wanted to be my own hybrid. So I started training the boxing a bit. You know, I started trying to be like a hybrid Muay Thai fighter. And that's helped me, like, you know, become who I am today, because I feel like a lot of foreigners, only a very rare few can come to Thailand and fight the Thais in their own game and win. It's very hard, you know. You got to start from that 5 years and come up to get that 200 fight experience to be able to fight that rhythm. So I try to be like a hybrid, because I only have like 57 professional fights, I think, under my belt. So I needed to adjust my style with the Thais.
when you're leveling up at this level of Muay Thai, who was your original inspiration?
Damian Alamos. I don't know if you know him. He was so Damian Alamos back in the day, like in 2012, he was a Lumpini champion, but he was the only foreigner who came to Thailand and was able to fight the Thais on their own game.
Even like a John Wayne Park, because he was...
He was a way better version, in my opinion, to John Wayne Park, because Damian Alamos had like a beautiful Thai style, you know, like he had that slow style that, I don't know, he just fought like a Thai, and he won the Lumpini Stadium belt at a division which is very hard to win the belt at. Like in Thailand, like a lot of people don't understand, like Thais aren't big, right? So the Thais, in my division, 135, there's like hundreds of Thais, right? And then in Damian Alamos, it was the same. So the higher division where all these guys, John Wayne Parr and all these guys, they had good Thais, but it was not as a big number of like what we have, because Thais are usually smaller.
Yeah, it would be like if you compared it to MMA, UFC, you know, the heavyweights.
Exactly.
The level isn't the same as like the lightweights or
but
the welterweights.
they're still good. They're still good.
Yeah.
Like I can't take out the credit, but there wasn't just as many fights as we had to fight.
Yeah, as much competition as
Yes,
as
because
well.
Thais are like naturally small, you know.
Interesting. Now, did you have a goal of what weight class you'd be getting into as a professional? Can the goalpost move? Would you ever plan to go up, go down, or this is where you want to be?
That was the hard part. So the promoter of the gym, the manager of the gym, he decides. And that's where it's hard, because they don't really understand the science of weight cutting. And they just kind of tell you a weight that they believe you're good at. So you just struggle to make the weight. I've had many hard weight cuts because, you know, I fight at 61 kilos, but I've been fighting at this weight since I was 15. So I know my weight. My body has probably suffered growth from cutting weight too much, but I didn't know this back then. You know, growing up, I just wanted to fight and make it out here because I had such a big fear of going back to Cyprus. So I did not care about my health when I just moved out here, you know. So I just made weight and fought, and then, yeah, it's up to the promoter. You don't really choose when you're like in Thailand.
Do you plan to go up in weight?
I mean, now I found the science back, and I feel like I'm healthy here. But yeah, I do plan in the future to go up, but I feel strong in this division still, so I'm going to stay here for a while.
Yeah, there's been a lot of difficult Muay Thai weight cuts. There was actually a kid from
Jordan Coe from Scotland. He passed away.
When I first lived here, that's 2016. I think he died. He must have died 2016, 17.
Yeah.
And
I was here.
I was here.
That shocked us.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the week later, I think I was fighting, and I was running in the sweatsuit. And he died in a sweatsuit because I think he went out, he had an M150 energy drink, put the sweatsuit on like heat, and then was running. Funny enough, the week later, I had to lose 7 kilos of water in a fucking sweatsuit, run for 3 days. And I was like running, and I remember like being so scared because my heart was beating a bit faster, like you were overthinking. And like it was in Muay Thai, it did shock us, like when he passed away, and a lot of us, it hurt us because he was one of the youngsters out here, like just like myself, chasing the dream, and it was a shock for us, to be honest. And I do think after his death, it kind of made all of us fighters look into science a bit. And that's when weight cut became a bit more scientific behind it. And then
he was up and coming as well. Like,
he was really good too.
This was like the beginning. I don't know if it was the beginning, but I started to notice it when MX was really... this is before...
Max Muay Thai.
Yes.
Max Muay Thai,
I think you guys... Were you wearing... Was it 6-ounce gloves or less?
Yeah, I never fought on that show because those were like the TV shows.
Yes.
So that's Muay Thai, but that's Muay Thai for the TV.
Yeah, those are guys like... Who was fighting there? I saw it.
Shad
Collins.
Collins.
Craig Dickinson.
Yes, Craig Dickinson.
This was... Because you'd go and eat at a Thai restaurant on a Friday night, and this would be on the TV, and we'd be watching this.
This is what a lot of people don't understand. That Muay Thai was just a TV show. It's not really a Muay Thai. No. So you go there, they put 6 ounces, they just tell you knock each other out, we'll give you a 10,000 bonus. And when you're living here, living off fight money, you just want to fight on those shows. But me as a younger guy, I was blessed enough. I understood that I didn't want to go that route. I was happy enough to struggle a few more years and stay in the Thai stadiums because I felt if I stay in the stadiums and build a name in the stadiums, I'll get more respected from the Thais. And eventually it worked out. I still stayed in the stadiums and avoided the TV shows as much as possible. I only fought on Max Muay Thai once, and that was just purely for money. But I stayed in the stadium route, and the stadium route is what makes a Muay Thai fighter tough because it's hard.
Well, they were doing the Max Muay Thai. They would have tournaments where you could win like 300,000, but the problem is maybe you don't get knocked out, but some of the punches you're taking, I mean, it's it
ruins your Muay Thai style though.
Yeah, because now no one's throwing kicks.
No, it just makes you rush for the knockout, and Muay Thai is all about patience. Like if you kick me and then I try to spaz out to punch you, I'm losing.
What size gloves are you wearing now? Is it 8 or 10?
8 ounce.
8 ounce gloves.
8 ounce, but you gotta we wear like a big ass tape in too, so it's like feeling like 2 bricks, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you asked me before, what's the difference like with the TV show Muay Thai and like the Muay Thai in the 5 rounds? Like why the foreigners who go and do a full career in the TV shows can't come back to the 5 round Muay Thai because of they lose the conception of the scoring. In the 5 round system, it's all patience, it's about dominance, it's about showing good balance, when to strike and having the patience to strike. It's knowing when to hit and when to act like you're winning. Whereas in the TV show, they just want violence. So that's why a lot of foreigners chose the TV show route, because it was a little bit more money and they enjoyed, I feel, that exposure under the bright lights.
It's a completely different sport.
It's a different game. It's a different sport, and a lot of people don't understand like the two different sports, but 5-round Muay Thai is where the real Muay Thai comes out of.
Let's chat a little bit about the point and scoring system in Muay Thai, which, I mean, even myself being here for 9 years, I still don't get it. You kind of hear in the stadium, yeah, more points for kicking, and the judges are basing it more on that. So anyone that's new to Muay Thai and trying to watch it, I mean, you might get punched twice in the head, but one kick to the body might give a better score. Can you explain exactly when a judge is scoring a fight at a high level against an A-class fighter at a Lumpini stadium, what are they really taking into consideration?
Just to like put it out there, Lumpini Stadium at the moment in this year is now a TV show. One Championship is hosting their event, so Muay Thai is changing there too. They're looking more for the knockouts, so there's not really scoring system there. Is just about who's doing the most damage, and also like it's MMA gloves, so it's different. This traditional 5-round Muay Thai, which used to be the old Lumpini Stadium and now like the Rajadamnern 5-round stadium circuit. It's all about dominance mainly, and more about who knows when to throw what at the certain time, if that makes sense. So like I'll give you an example. If you kicked me but your kick was weak and it didn't show no effective, but then I punched 2 big punches and your head whiplashed, I can potentially win that exchange. But it also has to do a lot with balance, a lot of how you try to score. It's all about when you're going to throw this point. But I would say kicks do score more, but they got to be good, effective kicks. Like not just flicky kicks and expecting you're going to win. So it's all about clean Muay Thai strikes, let's say. And more balance, I would say. Like more, it's I can't really explain.
What about like damage from elbows or knees and cuts?
Yeah. So obviously a cut. So if the fight's really close and they're both back at it and the cut happens, so the guy who cut the other guy showed more damage, so he wins. So it depends on the fight, right? And also, like, if you see, like, a clinch exchange, you'll see, like, usually the guy who's controlling the clinch is winning. It's all about control. I guess the 5-round Muay Thai is all about control. And if you watch Muay Thai fights, you'll watch, like, round 1, round 2, they start slow. Round 3 and 4, you'll see one guy try, like, land a few good shots, and then you'll see the other guy get frustrated and start chasing him. And then the guy who landed the few good shots just acts like he's winning. He'll win the fight because he kind of like brought the bull to chase the flag. So does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So it's about showing you know how to win. That's the most important.
What is that career path for even a young Muay Thai child coming out of, let's say, Isan and building his way up into the A-class as an A-class Muay Thai fighter at Rajadam Stadium? Like, what does his career path look like? You're starting at 4, you're trying to win a belt by 20, or is it later, like almost 27, 28? And where does the career start to, they transition maybe from fighter to trainer or coach?
I mean, nowadays, Muay Thai is changing so much. You know, one championship is bringing so much more money. So Muay Thai, if you look at the gyms now, all the styles are changing. Everybody's trying to become a heavy puncher. Muay Thai is becoming more of a hybrid style, so the style's completely changing. Like, stadium does not pay money. The most you can get in a stadium is 100,000 baht, I think. So, like, a lot of Thai fighters now are looking to get into one championship or RWS, a bigger league, and hopefully pray for a bigger payday. So, Muay Thai is changing a lot at this moment. And I would say the guys who are coming out of, they would start at the stadiums, but you would see the stadium Muay Thai, then they'll try to shift to the one championship direction because they want to end up providing more for their families. So Muay Thai is becoming more like a complete sport now. It's just punch, kick, elbow, just more damage. Even at a young age, let's say 3 or 4, and maybe now you're training towards to get to 1, you get guys with a style, and I think we discussed this, and I still remember from a while back, a guy like Rod Tang, where, yeah, he's going to come out, he's a brawler, he's a heavy hitter, but he's, in terms of technical, there's guys that are levels above him. Yeah. Can you expand on that? Yeah, so I'll give you a great example. Like, Rod Tang back in the day, like when he would fought someone like Kai Mukau, who's now a trainer at Bangkok, like back in the day in like 5-round stadium Muay Thai, Kai Mukau like just outscored him because Rotang's a brawler. So what Kai Mukau would do was outsmart him. Rotang would get frustrated and start chasing, and then he would just beat him, right? Whereas now, if we put the same fight that happened like 5 years ago into one championship with MMA gloves, Rotang will probably win because he's chasing him and showing damage. So Muay Thai now is in complete new evolution, you know. So fighters who were losing back then are winning now. So Muay Thai is purely becoming more about damage. And
how do you preserve the culture and integrity of Muay Thai in the children as they see more opportunity in one? When they're training as a child, they won't be following this old school technique. Won't the essence of Muay Thai begin to disintegrate?
I really don't know what's going to happen to Muay Thai, to be honest. I really feel Muay Thai is heading into a new era. Like soon it's going to be a whole different sport. I just feel we'll see like complete fighters, which I do think it's good because now the public will understand Muay Thai, whereas before it was just like the Muay Thai hardcore fans who enjoyed it. Whereas now you'll get someone who's sitting on the couch with a beer watching someone kill each other. Like they enjoy that. So I think now Muay Thai has to change just so people can use it as a job. And I do feel like the Thais will adapt and they'll just become more complete fighters, and they'll grow up in the stadiums, fight a lot of 5-round Muay Thai, become smart. That's why Rotang was so good. You know, Rotang earned a lot of good experience in the stadiums, got outsmarted, fought high technicians, and now when he's in one, he knows how to win, you know. So I feel like the Thais are just going to adapt, and it's just sport's going to evolve.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of the high levels fighters moving over to one. Does that become an issue? Because wouldn't they be stadium champions at Rajadam? Now, there's the one guy, he's the champion in one, something with Taco.
Tawan Chai?
Tawan Chai.
Yeah.
So a guy like Tawan Chai, he's fighting in one. Should he be at Rajadam? Isn't that where he belongs?
Well, I mean, I don't blame the guy. If he was at Rajadam and now he'll be champion, he'll probably making like, I don't know, 200,000 baht a fight. That's nothing, right? Now he's probably making, who knows how much he's making in one,
like
right?
A cup, maybe 100,000
yeah,
US.
So like, I wouldn't blame the guy for not wanting the stadium title no more. He's already done that, been there, done that. So Muay Thai is changing, you know, like nobody cares about a stadium belt no more. Everybody's chasing the glory. Everybody's chasing the spotlight. Everybody's chasing that professional contract to earn money from this. And you can't blame them, because if you want to do this, you need money, right? And I mean, Muay Thai is in a big evolution now, so we'll see. I don't think Tawan Chai doesn't need to prove anything in the stadiums, because if you look back in his career before one, he's already dominated the whole stadiums. So it'll be funny enough to see, like in 20 years from now, the Thais who don't go to the stadiums and go straight into a big league, how they would stand out. So
do you think that will reduce their longevity as a fighter?
It will either reduce the longevity or increase it. We don't know. It's a big debate, and I really have no idea what's going to happen to Muay Thai in 20 years from now. It will either be like a change, or it'll be like the foreigners will just take over, because, you know, science, weight cutting is all changing, right? So
now, you've fought for a belt in a stadium, and there's a handful of foreigners that have been in that position and had that opportunity. Can you discuss a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so my first dream, so when I told you I was 11, 12 years old, when I came to Thailand, one day I was at Rajadamnern Stadium. I think I was 12 years old, and I was with the Cyprus team, and I sat down at ringside seats at Rajadamnern Stadium, and I saw for the first time a big event in Raja. And I was like, wow, like this is where I want to be. And then moving forward to last year, I fought for the Rajadamnern Stadium belt. Me just being there, I was grateful. You know, I've worked so hard to be able to just fight a Thai at that level. Unfortunately, I didn't get the win, but you know, looking back now, I've accomplished that childhood dream inside me. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be good enough to fight against them, and now I proved to myself I'm good enough to fight them. So now the next level is just try to surpass that level of theirs. You know, so I'm looking back. I've just truly understand the power of my mind. Like I manifested it, and it came true. So now I'm just trying to keep my mind healthy, and moving forward, I'm just trying to continue day by day, and I don't compare myself to anyone no more. Just focus on my own goals and just trying to move forward to surpass that next level now, you know?
What would that roadmap entail? Do you plan to go back to fight for a stadium title? Do you want to move forward into MMA or UFC?
Yeah, so I will do the MMA jump in the future because, as I said, I love feeling, I love like setting a goal from now and looking at it. It seems impossible in my brain, but then I work towards it every day and it feels closer. I love that. I need a drive. Um, for now, I'm just training hard every day, and I'm just gonna take every big opportunity that comes my way. I'm training wrestling now, doing some jiu-jitsu. I'm also fully training Muay Thai. I'm just enjoying fighting again. After accomplishing fighting for a stadium belt last year, now I feel like I need to get back into the gym to enjoy the sport, because after taking that loss, I took like a month off and I felt like I didn't enjoy training no more. Training was hard and I just didn't enjoy training. And now I'm trying to find just enjoying being in the gym again. And now I am. I found that drive again. I just want to be happy, because the reason I started the sport at the end of the day was just being happy, right? I was just a little kid sitting ringside at Raja, dreaming big. And now I feel like I'm back in that position. So I feel like if I was able to accomplish everything I've accomplished from here to then, now I feel like the sky's not even the limit no more, like the universe is. I'm like gonna...
Yeah, you're training at Bangkok and with top wrestling coach like
Exactly.
the Hickman brothers,
Yeah.
and Alex Shields over
Yeah.
there with the jiu-jitsu side, plus legends of Muay Thai in there you can really learn from, and obviously your head coach Arjan Watt. This next stage for you, do you plan to go first back into Muay Thai or possibly directly into MMA, or you're still just feeling it all out?
Nah, so for my goal now is just have fun, which I am. I'm enjoying every day at training. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh yes, training, here's wrestling, oh, and Muay Thai, and like I'm having fun. And I feel like big opportunities will come. Like I put on like last year I only lost to like one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters in my division, right? So I beat John Paranchai. He's a Channel 7 Stadium champion. I'm looking to take his belt, which is Channel 7, like no foreigners, rarely a foreigner fights there. So that's a belt I'm looking forward to get this year. But more just having fun now. At this stage, like I'll be champion, but I feel like me having fun, I'm more of a dangerous fighter now. So I'm just going to wait for a big opportunity, and any big opportunity that comes, I'll take it straight away.
Yeah, this type of level of fighting, especially on Channel 7, there's a lot of hype behind it because no foreigners get that opportunity. Why is that exactly? Is it just they don't reach that level, or are they held back?
For many reasons. The money is not that great. So I feel like a foreigner to reach Channel 7 and to earn like a decent paycheck, you got to have a name already. So you got to like compete in the 5-round Muay Thai circuit already. So I already have like, it's like you have like this blue book, is like your boxer book. And it tells you who you fought, who you won, So I've gotten like I've beaten a few big names, so that allows me to earn like a bigger paycheck than other people would. It's not much though, but still a bigger than any other one would. But also the scoring, the 5-round is the traditional 5-round scoring, which a lot of foreigners are not used to. They don't understand it. Also, you need a promoter who thinks you're good enough to fight there. Because I'm not sure the story, but I think a few years ago, 2 foreigners fought each other in Channel 7, and something happened with the Thais. They didn't enjoy it or something, and then they just put a ban on the foreigners. Something weird happened there, and then for a few years, you never seen a foreigner fought. And then now recently, only like a few of us, like 3-4 guys came back and fought. So I feel like Channel 7 I feel that it still has that aura that I was looking for when I was young. So I'm looking to get back there for now, I think.
And how old are you now?
I'm 26.
Oh, so you have tons of time.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people getting into, even guys like I think Israel Adesanya getting into UFC, I don't think they started till they're almost 30.
Yeah.
I think, he probably started around, maybe 28, 29.
Yeah.
So that opportunities, they're all there. I know because I've watched, I think Alexander Volkanovski, he's really got eyes on you. He's posted about you.
Yeah.
I mean, he must come to the gym and you must have conversations with him, training with him.
Yeah, I've also been blessed enough to like spar him. I sparred him on my 26th birthday,
Does he recognize your level of skill?
Yeah,
especially guys like Brad Riddell. I mean, it's serious striking levels to this game. Do you have those conversations with the guys at that level?
Yeah, of course. We always have the conversation with them, and they're like, I'm learning so much from them because, they come from like a different background, which is like opposite. I feel like my strengths are the stuff they don't have, but my weaknesses are their strengths. So I'm learning a lot from them, like also like being able to like spar Volkanovski, like striking, like he's also told me like he believes I'm good enough to like make it. So it's all just fuel, to be honest, for my heart. And I'm just grateful to be surrounded by these great guys. And just, I respect guys who've like Brad Riddell, he's fought some 100 fights of kickboxing, made it to the UFC. Like that's hard to do, like master 3 different martial arts and like make it to a global platform like UFC. So I'm blessed I have guys like that to like be under, because nowadays, you know, you hear a lot of people who want to make it, but they haven't done anything. You know, they're just looking for that I don't know, that platform to talk shit, and like they're looking into that fame, where I'm looking into like feeling like I'm a real fighter, you know. And like Brad Riddell, guys like that, they are real fighters, so I'm happy I'm surrounded under that energy, you know.
Why do you think it is that Bangkok, Muay Thai, and MMA breeds these superstars? What is it about that environment?
I mean, if you actually look at it, like every single guy they bring in, or the guys who are there, they're all actually, everybody's just a real fucking fighter. So when you put that under one roof, and the energy, you just feel it when you're in there, you know. When you're in like the MMA match and you look around, like you have Frank, you have George, you have Volk, then you have fucking Brad Riddell, and then you have like Peter, who's an upcoming, going to be in the UFC soon, and then you have like, you know, then you have all these big guys come in. Like, I think it's just like a aura in the gym now that we're all lifting each other up.
Yeah, there's a certain energy there where you can all feed off each other.
Exactly.
And everyone's bringing their own skill set from different parts of the world and consolidating it into this location as well. You're seeing guys like Zhang Wei Li's pretty much there full time.
Yeah.
Yuri Prohaska, he usually comes and goes probably once a year.
Exactly.
And you've seen guys come through the gym like Brendan Lotnane, and I've seen Darren Till through there. Ian Gary was there not long ago. I think Hamzat was there for
Charles Oliveira was there.
Yeah, and they and then you get all the goats have been there, like your John Jones, your GSPs. They come and run their seminars. There's something about Phuket that's magical that brings everyone together. On the flip side of it, living in Phuket, now you're outside of the Bang Tao area, and we discussed this. You're up in Bang Jo. You've been in Phuket in Thailand for quite a long time. Yeah. How have you seen this island changed? Is it for the good or the bad?
I mean, I've only lived in Phuket for 2 years now. I've come from Bangkok, so Bangkok was hard for me because I moved from Cyprus to Thailand, and my first place was Bangkok. So I'm kind of enough with Bangkok. I mean, for me, for a fighter here in Phuket, for me this is paradise because my life is only in the gym. You know, I'm home, and then with my girlfriend, then we're cooking like a good steak, and then I'm training. So for me personally, I'm blessed and I'm happy to be here because like being close to the ocean is what I need, because I grew up close to an ocean. Whereas for like, if it's busy or not, I mean, for like normal expats who are not training, I would say it would be hard for them. But for a fighter, this is a dream. This is paradise for a fighter. You know, you get cheap fruit shakes, stands for 60 baht, you know, then you get like, I don't know, for a fighter, this is paradise. So I feel that's why you get Bang Tao, all the fighters come down, and this is why we love it, because for us, it's like just paradise, you know, when you're training 3 times a day, and then by 6 o'clock, you're home, you see a sunset at the beach, you drink a coconut for like $1, and then you just go sleep. I mean, you're blessed, you know.
Yeah, and you can focus all your time and energy, especially in these areas like Phuket, on training, sleeping, and eating. It's very different compared to, and I've talked to UFC fighters in the past about this, where they might be living in California, but the boxing gym's here, the MMA gym's here, they got to eat there. So they spend a lot of the time commuting, in traffic, traveling.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, here, your time is very optimized.
Yeah.
But I always say the secret sauce here is the coconuts.
Yep, it is.
This is the most natural electrolyte that most people don't have access to globally.
Exactly. That's why, like, when me living in Phuket, I never think of the negative stuff about Phuket. Obviously, it gets busy sometimes when there's too much tourists here and stuff, but I also see that as a blessing, because that means our gym is busy, and then we can all earn more money, more PTs for us and all that. So we can't complain as a fight gym here, we got to look at that as a blessing, and then, we get like all the fruits here and like the sun, because I love the sun, the ocean, like I can't complain. Whereas if I was a normal guy, like having an office job living here, yeah, maybe I would struggle a bit living here, yeah.
Yeah, and you're so busy, but I'm sure by the end of the night you're burnt out, you're hitting the pillow.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Anyway.
So it's like, it's a different, I guess, if you come to Phuket for like to become a fighter, I think this is the place. But if you come to Phuket to try to live a normal life, yeah, it could be hard living here.
This experience here on the podcast, you have quite a bit of followers on Instagram, but you're not one to communicate to them as in, hey guys, how's it going? This type of information will get out there, and I'm sure it'll get a lot of views just because they've never had that opportunity. You haven't done too many in-depth conversations. Why is that you like to kind of keep to yourself?
I've always had this problem as like growing up, like I always feel like I haven't accomplished anything much, like I've always chasing that next goal, like I've always felt like stay quiet, stay under the shadows, and then one day you'll bloom, I've always had this thing, and I do think it's bad because here and there I get like good messages from like people who follow my journey and like get inspired by me. I do think I have to get out there though, but I just feel like it's that little voice inside of me who's always telling me just shut up and go to the gym, shut up, go to the gym, train more, and it's like a constant battle in my head, I guess, where like I don't want to show myself until it's time to show myself, let's say.
Does that intense exercise regime and training, does that help you quiet that inner guy down?
Yeah. So the thing is, what me, like, if I like miss a training, like for something silly, then it will haunt me. So like example, now before coming on this podcast, I needed to smash my 2 sessions in the morning. Now I can come here calm and speak to you guys. But if I skip training to be here, yeah, I wouldn't be like myself here. I'd be fighting my own demons inside my head. So like I always have like a demon inside of my head, like, just train. Like, why are you talking to a camera? Why are you being an idiot? Because nowadays you get all these fucking Instagram fighters too much in front of the camera, which obviously I get that part because the marketing, the business side of that. But I want to stay humble because I feel like I'm nowhere near what I'm going to accomplish in my sport. So I do feel I need to like get out there a little bit more for my audience, but it will come, guys.
Yeah, I think you're doing it the right way as well. Every hour you spend on Instagram talking to your audience is an hour that you could be eating, training, or sleeping.
Exactly.
Which I think at this stage in your career is more priority than the content.
Exactly.
Right? Because you need to you're building yourself up to that as well.
Exactly. So I want to be able to, like, in the future, to back up all the talk I'm going to be doing. Like I've put in the work in, right? A lot of people talk, and then boom. What do they do? Nothing. So their name just disappears, right? I don't want to be one of them, right? I just want to be... obviously, I do need to start inspiring like other younger people from like around Europe or around the world who want to come to Thailand, because I do feel I have a lot to teach to these people. And I will eventually. I just think I need to find a balance, because I'm the type of person, like, when I'm all in, I'm all in. Like, I'm all in the gym. I just need to be in the gym. I need to find a balance with work stuff. So that's why, like, my girlfriend now is helping me out with that. So we literally just bought a camera like 2 weeks ago, so we're gonna try fit that into my schedule. So we'll figure it out.
I think it's important to, especially at this stage, to take your time as well. I mean, some UFC fighters, if you watch out there, and because I'm more following that sport, I find their level changed when they got too much in front of the camera, and it's purely mathematical. If you're in front of the camera, you're not training.
Exactly.
You're not eating. You're not sleeping.
Exactly.
And you only have so many hours in the day.
Not only, but if you actually go blast yourself in the gym and like train for 2-3 hours, you have no energy to even meet a friend for coffee. Like, when I'm like training all day, like, I have no energy. You forget stuff. You don't want to do stuff. It's not like you're moody. You're just tired. Your body's depleted. Like, you just want to rest, and you just want to keep your head away from all of the social media. That's what sometimes, like, you're on social media scrolling, then you start comparing yourself to others and stuff. It just becomes like a toxic mindset battle, whereas I just want to be like as much focused on myself as possible.
What are you doing with your spare time besides jumping on a podcast?
I mean, my girlfriend cooks me some sick ass meals, so I'm like just chilling around her, watching her cook. We're like being with her, like, or like going food shopping, or we'll go for like to the beach, get some sun. I'm just trying to like do as much.
Do you get opportunities to get off the island, to travel a little bit? Or, I mean, when your training as intense as you have to, you can't get too far from the gym, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the past 2 years since I moved to Phuket, my mindset, I didn't leave Thailand in the 2 years.
I haven't left in 6 years.
Wow. Yeah. Usually I would always like go see my mom like for like a month or something. Whereas now, like, I stayed in Thailand for 2 years, just been grinding. And I mean, I will do like a little Bangkok trip, because I like a little city fix, for 3 days, go get something you can't get in Phuket, or maybe go see a little island for like a day. But that's about it.
Is there anything you could share with your audience watching, and just in general? I mean, I think at this level you're growing exponentially, and these things are coming. Everything you're manifesting is happening, and you're staying on that path. Is there anything you can share with your audience that there's just something that only you know about yourself that you haven't really shared with the world, whether that's a pet peeve, a habit that you have, or something that most people might not know about you?
Okay. That's a hard one. Give me some ideas on that one. Just so I can like...
let me think if I have...
Tell me something about you.
Yeah, let me think. I'm trying to... example of myself. Oh, I shave my head every like 4 months. I'll just shave it all off. And you know what it is there's so much construction.
Okay.
So people are like, why did you shave your head again? I'm like, there's so much construction on the road, and I only ride the motorbike, that there's a certain point where my head gets so like itchy. Because of all the, I think it's the construction dust. And I just like one day, like even if I go get a haircut, you think it goes away. No, I'm okay. Fuck this.
Yeah. Oh, I would say I mean, I head to the barber once a week. I like
You can't use the hair idea.
What can I use? Let me think of something on this one. I'll make it special. What people know?
Is there even maybe like a strange, like you have strange eating habits, strange rituals, something superstitious that you do?
Oh yeah, I'm very strict with my fuel. I try to like once I eat something unhealthy, I start brainwashing myself that I'm not gonna make it. I start feeling like I always I think it was Ronaldo who said it when I was very young, and it creeps in my head like you are what you put in your body. And then one time I thought of like a race car, right? Like if you put like a Lamborghini that races in a track, there's racing oil and there's a reason for that. So I would say my food. I'm very picky with my food. Like I always want to eat like a lot of beef. I'm really strict with my nutrition part. Like as in, if I don't eat healthy, then I can't train. Like I feel very guilty when I'm training, and I feel like I'm slow. I like kind of talk myself into like not being a good fighter when realistically it's nothing, you know. Like if I have a burger and go train, it's okay, but I talk so much shit into myself that I don't deserve it. So then my whole day just collapses. So like I try stick to like a healthy lifestyle as much as possible, or else like I guilt trip myself into like negative thoughts, and that's not good.
Is that to help also maintain that weight, so when you have to weight cut, it's not as challenging?
Nah, not really. Like my weight is always good. It's just like I always feel like fucking Lamborghini, you're gonna put racing oil. Why are you giving yourself this shitty food? Like you're supposed to be a fighter. Like alcohol, I try strictly not to drink. I only drink if it's a celebration for something, and I'm strict with that. Like for alcohol especially, like it has to be a serious celebration, and then I'll have a few drink, or like that's it. But like I'm really strict with like what I put into my body.
Are you almost following like a carnivore diet?
Not really. I just enjoy beef. I just love red meat. Like where I come from, like we eat a lot of red meat, so I just love red meat, but no carnivore diet.
But as a fighter, you still need a lot of carbs since you're burning so much glycogen.
Yeah.
Are you eating a lot of rice or
a lot of rice?
A lot of fruits?
A lot of rice, a lot of fruit, a lot of dates, a lot of the electrolytes have a lot of carbs in it too. Yeah. So I just a lot of everything, to be honest. I just try to like whole foods as much as possible, and I feel that's one of the reasons I'm succeeding, to be honest, because a lot of fighters don't take that part serious, but then they don't understand about the inflammation in their bodies, and then maybe that's why they're getting more injured than other people. So I try to look about it a bit more deep. It's not just about like my feeling, but just about how the body works, you know. Like I'm training so hard, and if I'm eating shit food, who knows what's going on in my body? Maybe my blood is not working. I just overthink stuff like that so much.
No, I hear you. Like I ate pizza last week, and I just felt bloated for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I felt great that day because I was training quite a bit and just running. But then I felt horrible for 3 days.
Yeah, so imagine eating that and then having to go wrestle for 2 hours, and then you get some...
Just doesn't digest properly.
Not only, but then you have someone mauling you on the floor.
Oh, the battery? Okay. I only had one question left.
Okay.
Change the camera. The battery? Okay. Anyway, literally, right. I had one question. That was it. So just one second.
Did I cover that one? The previous? Yeah.
No, sometimes the batteries, they overheat. We have like 6 batteries. What time is it now? It's probably been way over an hour.
That's all right. Don't worry. I'm good.
Wrap it up.
I'm literally like
I didn't even eat today.
Too many podcasts, right?
Today was 2, but we were supposed to start earlier. It was a bit delayed, but it is what it is. I'm filming like...
What did the other guy do? What does he do?
Carlos, he owned a restaurant here before, but he's from Mexico. He does a lot He does a lot of like trading with like clothing in Mexico. He lived in China.
Okay.
So he imports like I think he works with like Harley Davidson or something.
Oh wow.
Like he does like boutique clothing brands.
Oh wow. Interesting people who you meet. That's one thing I love about Phuket, about the interesting people you meet here.
Yeah, there's people come from anywhere because they want to come have a simple. Most of us that wherever we came from, we actually came from somewhere difficult. Like, I mean, I lived in Asia since I was like 22.
Oh wow!
And trust me, I lived in like apartments smaller than that, like bathroom.
I understand.
And working like for nothing
in China.
But everyone has that story. And then finally you get here, like okay.
Space.
But it took like 15 years, right?
Wow.
It takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah. It's okay. Coming in. Almost done. Test. Yeah, I'm starving as well. Yeah, these will get, like after this, like I have to like literally lay on the couch for an hour. just because
I
you
get
do
you.
3 hours, like it's okay. As the guy, okay, you answer, but me, it's like the brain can't shut off because
I
I can't
get ya.
just be like this, huh? What?
I get you. I get you. I get you. And there's a lot of stuff you gotta like fix during the podcast, right?
I don't do any editing after. There's no editing.
No, but I mean like the flow.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah, the
kind of
flows.
control the flow.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Good. Okay, one sec. What was my question? Do I have to clap or no? Okay. Fuck, I had a good question right at the end. No.
You lost it.
No.
So we talk about what I put in my body, and then
Yeah. I got it. Okay.
Okay, good.
Lion's mane.
Let's go.
He remembers. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we just changed the camera battery. Just a couple questions just before we wrap it up. And I'm sure this is a longer podcast, but that's the beauty of the podcast. If it does go over an hour, I try to keep it under. But at the end of the day, I want to ask questions also selfishly for myself.
Of course.
You want to understand the guest and everything as much as you can about them. If you weren't doing Muay Thai today and you're doing no martial arts, what do you think you would be doing instead?
It's a very, very hard one, but I'm very interested in the ocean. Like one of my goals after Muay Thai is like I want to just scuba dive the ocean, learn about animals. I'm very interested in sharks and whales. So I think I would have headed somewhere in that direction. I think like I'm very into the ocean. I love the ocean. I've grown up around the ocean since I was very young. So even after when I retire from martial arts, I want to travel the world just to see the ocean, like ocean life. I want to like experience.
Well, they
all
do that. The big turtle release. Have you know about this one at the
No, I didn't.
Tai Muang Beach?
Okay, Time One.
So it's north of do you know where Baba Beach Club is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, north of that, there's a golf course there called the Quilla, and there's a beach there. And the area is called Tai Muang. And that's the area. Once a year, there's a turtle.
Wow.
Turtle festival.
Okay.
I don't know when it is. Go check it out.
I will, 100%.
They hatch all the turtles in the nearby area, and they all release them. The thousands of turtles on the beach once a year. Right up here.
I will do it.
Yeah. And actually, this area. Do you have scuba diving certifications or anything?
I mean, no, but I do go spearfishing with like Brad Riddell and stuff.
Okay.
But like my regime's so strict now, so it's very hard to like find stuff to like dedicate myself to other stuff now. So I'm trying to finish what I'm set out to do first. I feel like that's what a lot of people do is they try to do too much stuff, but then you lose it.
Yeah, it's we call it the Renaissance man. It's like jack of all trades, master of none. And so you do everything,
exactly.
but you spread your skills too thin.
Exactly.
So.
I try to keep my brain focused on one goal, and I feel that's why I've been successful in my career, because I've always done like one step at a time, and I feel like I have time to like do that in the future, and I want to do that proper. I don't want to just do it here and there. I want to go experience the ocean like in the future.
No, it's important too, especially when you have that like dialed in focus. Even for myself with our business, like the biggest wins I have in my company have been saying no.
Exactly.
And just from little things, like we were going to do a mushroom coffee.
Oh, wow.
Trust me, I would have lost so much money. But I thought, I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's going to work, and it wouldn't have worked.
Exactly.
So actually, the blocking stuff and saying no are the hidden wins.
We have like this gut instinct, if you want to call it, inside of you. Like it just tells you if it's right or not, you know. So I always kind of like just kind of feel stuff out. I'll think about it, and then if I feel it's not, I don't go ahead. And especially with fighting, like sometimes I sit down and think like, you know, like fighting's dangerous, you know, like one day, like, you know, people can die from this. So, and also a lot of people around the world want to be in the position I am in. So I got to be working extra hard, you know, because there's people who coming from way worse backgrounds than my training probably harder. I don't know. So I'm trying to train as hard as I possibly can to like stay in the level where I'm at now, you know.
Yeah, so it's really about like how many hours you put in. When I started my company, I had a roadmap that was about 4 years. And I'm like, if I work 8 hours a day, I get there in 4 years. And I went, how do I get there in 6 months? Exactly. What did I do? I worked 20 hours a day.
Exactly.
I'm like, well, I can get there in 4 years, but I can also get there in 6 months if I just work twice as hard. And there's people out there that, you know, want to reach your level. Exactly. And they'll be like, okay, he's training 10 hours. What if I just put in another like 4 per day or whatever that is?
But the thing is, like, that's the thing though. A lot of fighters like, feel like they got to train hard, but then they're not smart. So I think in this game, you got to be smart too, you know? So it's like a both.
You'll get sick.
It's like chess, you know, you like maybe get injured. So I always think I'm training hard, but I'm also smart with my recovery because I want to be a step ahead. I don't want to be just training hard like a someone who's like training hard and then just gets sick and injured all the time. And then what am I doing? Doing nothing, right?
Do you use like, you're using a Whoop.
Yeah.
So are you able to monitor, I think it's like certain VO2 levels where you don't want to overtrain, because once you hit these levels of overtrain without rest, your immune system is more jeopardized.
Yeah.
And you can literally get sick like that the next day.
Yeah, you feel it. Well, now I've been training for so long, 20 years now, to be honest. So like, I really know my body. The Whoop, I just use it to track like my sleep a little bit, or like my HRV, just because it's something I got into the last 2 years, my rest and heart rate. I just want to see, sometimes I wake up and it's higher than usual. I'm like, oh, maybe my immune system's down. And then I just try to like tweak it a bit, you know. So I just use this to just kind of see a few numbers, because I like seeing numbers to like keep my mind sane, because I have that voice I told you in my brain. So Whoop is just to like keep that brain a bit like calm, you know, for certain numbers.
Yeah, I have it with the Fitbit. There's one problem with the sleep tracking that I have. It's like sometimes I'll wake up well rested, but then I'll look at the data and the Fitbit says like you didn't sleep, and then all of a sudden I feel sick.
Yeah, I get you.
And I'm like, what?
I wake
I feel
up
great.
What I do now is I wake up and I don't even look. I strictly first like how I feel, and then I decide like if these metrics are correct.
Okay. So you decide, okay, I feel okay. Then you might not need to look at them.
Yeah.
But I know
it depends how happy I am. You know, like sometimes my body might be so tired, but then I go to the gym and I'm excited to go to the gym. So that means I'll have a great session, even though my body's tired. So I think it's more mental health, to be honest. Like mental health is like now number one for me.
Yeah. And you're discussing having that clean diet. I mean, our serotonin, this is developed through our gut health. And I find personally for myself, like when I eat clean, I make more quick decisions through my intuition. And intuition means internal, which means it can come from the gut. How important is just eating clean, not just for your body as a fighter for the fuel side, but for that intuition to make those right decisions in your fighting?
Exactly. I'm a big believer of that. So that's why that's something like I strictly follow, you know, like I feel you got to be in tune with your body. And if you're not, then you can't fight, you know, like if you're not in tune with yourself, you can't put yourself one day in a cage and think you have some animal across from you trying to take your head off. If you're not in tune with yourself, there's no way you're going to survive that.
Yeah, you've been trying our cordyceps extracts as well for quite some time, which we find most fighters notice for certain levels of VO2s. As a Muay Thai fighter, how have cordyceps mushrooms benefited you?
Yeah, I mean, cordyceps especially, I felt like, I remember you gave me some extra strong ones, and those are the ones I actually felt like I felt a big difference. I feel like you get like a little edge in your cardio, and that was like something I felt a lot from the strong ones you gave me.
Yeah, we have a lot of secret formulas we play with.
That's it.
Sometimes, yeah, they're I can't explain them.
Secret
they're
sauce.
Really,
Secret sauce.
It's just that like the formula extraction is so high end that we can't release it to the public. Like it might cost, oh my God, like $200-300 a kilo at cost. And the ones that I would have given you, and you're lucky I actually have a bunch here still.
Those are
and it's my little personal stash because if we sold it to the public, you can't afford it. I'd have to sell it at like 2,000 baht a bottle.
Okay.
Just to make it is so expensive.
I understand.
For me, just to make it is the cost I'd lose money.
I gotcha.
And we've done that because we've tried to test different things. To go into the science behind this is that it would take me 20 minutes and I've done 2 podcasts and I'm tired. So that's for another one. But yeah, we'll hook you up with the good stuff because we're moving to Hua Hin.
Beautiful.
So, we're putting all the stuff into a Bangkok warehouse next week.
Okay.
So finally we're actually leaving our jail cell. I haven't had a vacation in 3 years because when you get attached to the business and you fulfill from your own home, if you ever get into products, that like people buy 24/7. So if you're not fulfilling 24/7, you can't go anywhere. It's rough.
I get you. It's hard. It's hard. And I mean, Hua Hin will be good for you. 2-hour drive to Bangkok. It'll be a bit more. You can keep you sane a bit.
Even for me, I need golf, a laptop, and like clean air.
Simple.
I don't need anything else.
Simple life. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, just before we wrap it up, and hopefully we'll get you on the podcast up in Hua Hin.
For sure.
I probably will never be back to Phuket, just purely because of the drive, and I've been here so long.
Yeah.
To come back here, the hotels are probably mental. So just before we wrap it up, I'm going to kick it back to this big camera lens here. If anyone that is out there and they want to connect with you and follow you on that social media, whether that's Instagram, YouTube, or whatnot, if you can just let everyone know, how can they find you?
Hey guys, I mean, you can find me on Instagram, Michael Savvas. That's where I post like my usual content, but I'll be on YouTube also in the next month so you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Savvas Michael, and follow my journey, guys. And I promise you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll put all those links down in the description. So, yep, that is going to wrap up another episode of the Fruiting Body Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And a big shout out to Savvas Michael, rebranded. I feel like it's like this luxury brand now.
It is. It's a new branding.
I want to buy this. Yeah.
This is what that's another reason I tell people like this. Savvas Michael now, I feel like I'm entering a new era after like accomplishing, being able to. So you
could sell shampoo, designer clothing, jewelry.
Exactly.
I want it all.
I want it all.
Okay, guys, go check them out. We're gonna put those links in the description. And that wraps up another episode of the podcast. We're out. Thanks.